Well, good morning. Thanks for tuning in to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha this Monday morning, where we'll get you the biggest news stories from India and around the globe, stories that you need to know that are changing our world. Let us start the bulletin with the headlines. Government keen to find answers to problems of the farm sector. Two-day national conference of stakeholders to begin in Delhi today. Agriculture 2022 being held at advice of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to find actionable ways to double farmers' income. Prime Minister lays foundation stone for biggest greenfield airport at Navi Mumbai. 21 years after the idea was first mooted, dedicates a fourth terminal at largest container port. Prime Minister says size of India's economy will more than double in the next few years. Voter turnout in polling in Tripura Assembly elections on Sunday drops to 78%. Last polls registered over 91% voter turnout. In Meghalaya, NCP candidate Jonathan Sangma killed in a militant attack. Nagaland campaign gains momentum for polling on the 27th of this month. Lok Sabha Speaker appeals to all states to devote time for discussion on sustainable development goals at concluding day of India Region Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference in Patna. Says lawmakers have crucial responsibility to engage with the development agenda. India continue with a winning streak after bagging ODI series, beat South Africa by 28 runs in the first T20 international. Bhuvneshwar Kumar's 5 wickets and Shikhar Dhawan's stroke-filled 75 runs give India 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. Women's team lose to South Africa by 5 wickets in their third T20. Our top story this morning, in line with the government's promise to double farmers' income by 2022, a two-day national conference is being held today in Delhi, titled Agriculture 2022, Doubling Farmers' Income. The conference will be held at the National Agriculture Science Complex. The conference is being organized by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare on the advice of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The objective is to identify critical issues relating to agriculture and farmers' welfare, as well as finding appropriate solutions.
ये जो डिस्कशन होगा ये फार्मर सेंट्रिक होगा और ज़्यादातर प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशंस जो फील्ड लेवल में फार्मर्स और बाकी लोग पाए हैं उसको वो सामने रखेंगे और उसको रखने के बाद उसको कैसे देश के स्तर पर इसको लागू किया जा सकता है इसके बारे में चर्चा होने के बाद फिर एक रोड मैप बनाया जाएगा.
And now a special segment, Verdict 2018. Tripura registered a 78.56% voter turnout in polling for the assembly elections. Polls for 9 assembly seats of the 60-member house were held on Sunday. The election in Tripura's Charilam assembly seat, which was postponed following the death of a CPIM candidate, will be held on 12th of March. In the last assembly elections, the voter turnout was recorded at 91.82%. Here is a report. Tripura recorded a 78.56 voting percentage after over 25.73 lakh people exercised their franchise on Sunday. The polling for 59 seats of the 60-member assembly was peaceful, with thousands of central paramilitary forces fanning across the northeastern state. There were reports that the voting process got delayed in some booths due to EVM glitches. A total of 290 candidates, including 23 women, were in the fray.
अभी अपडेटेड फिगर है 78.56%. 56% है. Fairly, I would say, incident free tha in the time of elections. We have made our best efforts from the election department, thanks to, and also from we got with the security forces, the state police, the central paramilitary forces, and also we also got good support from the observers and the Election Commission of India.
In the past, the electoral battles in Tripura had been between the CPIM and the Congress. The Left Front has been ruling the state since 1978, except for 5 years between 1988 and 1993. The BJP that polled less than 2% vote share last time has made inroads into this red fortress. BJP's poll war cry of Tripura polls was "Chalo Paltai" or "Let's bring change." The left government led by Manik Sarkar is aiming for a record 6th straight term. The Congress is looking for a comeback despite infighting. Corruption, development and unemployment, peace and stability were the major poll issues.
मेरा देश को शांति संप्रीति उन्नयन के जो आता है वो उसको वोट दूंगी।
लड़की लोगों के सेफ्टी के लिए स्पेशली और हम सब लोग पीसफुली रह सके।
स्टेट का डेवलप हो, विकास हो, जो हम इधर रहते हैं सब मिलके एक साथ में होते हैं और नौकरियों का ज़्यादा हो। इस बारे में हम जो हमारा उम्मीदवार हम के लिए काम करेगा उसके लिए हम वोट दे दें।
The state of Tripura attained full statehood in 1972. The state legislative assembly got 60 seats and the first elections were held in March 1972. 1/3 of Tripura's population is scheduled tribes. The results of polls will be declared on 3rd of March along with Meghalaya and Nagaland, where votes will be cast on 27th of February.
Tripura has given its mandate. The fate of the candidates has been set. The socio-political dynamics of this state are different from the rest of the country, as this is the only state to have been ruled by the left government for more than 2 decades. It remains to be seen whether this left citadel remains red or it becomes the 20th state to be ruled by the BJP. Reporting from Agartala with camera person Jitendra Negi, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
In fact, Kriti Mishra is joining us on the phone line from Tripura. Very good morning, Kriti. So voting in Tripura concluded yesterday. It was by and large peaceful, though it continued till late in the evening as some EVMs developed glitches in some areas. Tell us more.
Well, that's right, Aishwarya. On several booths, the EVMs had developed glitches. The voting had actually started at 7 in the morning, but because of EVM glitches, the voting could not take place till even 9 o'clock in the morning at several booths. So the voting continued late in the evening at around 7 in the evening. So the initial percentage that we had recorded, that the Election Commission had recorded, was around 74%. But after the entire tabulation, it came around to be 78%. But that was a bit of a dampener because remember, Aishwarya, Tripura has recorded the highest voter turnout in the country in previous elections. For instance, in 2013, the voter turnout was around 93%, and even in 2014 Lok Sabha elections, the voter turnout was around 85%.
Yeah.
Now, this marginal, not even this substantial drop in the voter turnout, that is what the experts are pointing out, whether that is going to favor the incumbent or it is not going to favor the incumbent, because experts say that any change in the voter turnout does not augur well for the incumbent. So now, of course, it was first electoral battle between the CPM and the BJP, first time ever in the country. So certainly it remains to be seen whether CPM retains Tripura or the BJP makes inroads and actually becomes successful to form the government here. Well, we shall get to know all that on March 3rd. Aishwarya?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kriti, for all those updates. So we have to wait and watch whether this drop in the voter turnout, how will it really impact the results of the poll. Meanwhile, news from Meghalaya, where Nationalist Congress Party candidate Jonathan N. Sangma was killed on Sunday night after militants attacked his convoy in Meghalaya's East Garo Hills district. 2 others accompanying the NCP leader also died in the IED attack. Now, Chief Minister Mukul Sangma has condoled his death and has said that the incident will not disturb the peace of the state and added that the perpetrators of the crime will be apprehended expeditiously. The 43-year-old NCP candidate was returning after campaigning when the convoy came under attack. Remember, assembly elections for the 60-member House in Meghalaya are slated to be held on 27th of February. The Garo National Liberation Army, a proscribed militant outfit active in the state's South and East Garo Hills district, was campaigning against Jonathan. My colleague Ravindra Singh Shoran is now joining us live from Shillong. A very good morning, Ravindra. So what more can you tell us about NCP candidate Jonathan N. Sangma's murder? What is the police saying?
Yeah, good morning, but not so good. So good here in the morning is because this news is coming in that 4 of the persons who were killed, including the NCP candidate, 2 of his bodyguard and the police, 2 of his bodyguard and the driver were also killed in the attack, which was taken place yesterday in William Nagar when he was the candidate of NCP, Jonathan, was traveling back from the campaigning to his hometown. He was already under the scanner of Garo, but it has not been confirmed by the police that Garo National Army, the prohibited organization, is behind this attack. But what the local sources are saying that they are campaigning, the prohibited organization, they were campaigning against him, and some posters also appear warning the local person not to cast vote in favor of Jonathan Sangma. Jonathan also contested election last year. Last elections was also as an independent candidate. At that time also same kind of reaction from the Garo National Army came, but he contested election and he lost the election with 5,000 votes he could manage to secure last year. And the present candidate who won the election was the minister in the present government. And this time also it was a tough fight with the NCP candidate and the Congress party candidate, the official candidate of the Congress party, who is a minister here. The local police is claiming that it can, the Garo National Army could be behind, but it has not been confirmed so far. Right. The Garo National Army Liberation Front, this is an organization which was formed in 2009 by one of the deputy superintendent of Meghalaya Police. He has formed, his name is P.R. Sangma, known as Champion Sangma. He has formed this outfit, and it has carried many attacks on the security forces in past as well. And but Champion Sangma is now behind the bars, and he is under trial, and he's facing trial in several cases. But this organization, which is claimed to have contact with NSCN of Nagaland and some another militant outfits, can carry out this attack or not. The police is going to brief the media later in the day. But this is very true that
Ravindra,
now the election is already taking place. The election process is on.
Right. In 2013 also you were saying that Sangma had received death threats and he was also provided extra security based on that threat perception. But now this has happened. Considering that, what are the security measures that have now been put into place?
Yeah, this is a very important question which all the journalists and including the opposition parties, they are raising, that despite of he is being threatened by militant organizations and special security has not been given to him. No special security cover was assigned for the safety of Jonathan Sangma, despite he has been facing trial. And Jonathan Sangma is a popular candidate. He has been working for the welfare of the people here in East Garo Hills districts and the Southern Garo Hill district. He has been contesting election last year also. Last time also he got similar kind of threats, but no, he was not attacked at that time. But this time when an attack was executed against him, then he has been eliminated. And this is completely, the election commission has to respond, the police has to respond. The police has not yet addressed any press conference. We have been continuously trying to talk to the DGP of the area, but he has yet to take our calls. But the official sources of the police, what they are saying is, and the Home Ministry is also saying that they are going to address a press conference later in the day. In that press conference, he may be able to respond to the queries. But this is very clear that after this incident has taken place, the election of Meghalaya, which was considered quite peaceful earlier, is now under the blanket of threat. And how the police, the BSF, the CRPF, which has already been deployed here, how they will respond to this attack, and what kind of cohesive action will be taken to conduct a peaceful election. This is a big challenge for the security forces.
Big challenge for the security forces there. Thank you so much, Ravindra, for all those updates there from Meghalaya. Meanwhile, campaigning has also gained momentum in Nagaland for the 27th of February polls in the state capital, Kohima. Rallies are being organized in the evenings to enable people attend it after the day's work. Now, with an advancement of technology, political parties have shifted to banner campaign, displaying the vision statement. Hardly any posters put up by candidates are visible along the roads and on walls. Now, Nagaland is set to go to polls to elect a 60-member assembly on 27th of February, and the results would be declared on 3rd of March. Altogether, 195 candidates comprising 58 of the ruling NPF, 18 Congress, 20 BJP, 39 NDPP, 25 NPP, 13 JDU, 6 NCP, 3 Aam Aadmi Party, 2 LJP and 11 independents are in the fray for the 59 seats. And in Breakfast News, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
बहुत सारे लोगों में एक ये भी धारणा है कि आम आदमी पार्टी हैज बीन अ फेल्ड एक्सपेरिमेंट।
3 वर्षों में इतने काम, घोषणा पत्र के इतने जनता के लिए पूरा करके आज तक की किसी सरकार ने नहीं दिखाया हो।
2019 के चुनाव भी ऑलमोस्ट दे अराउंड द कॉर्नर। क्या आप कांग्रेस से या लेफ्ट से या बीएसपी, एसपी, आप किन किन पार्टी से आपने हाथ मिलाने की कोशिश की है अभी?
गठबंधन जिसके ऊपर कहीं कोई सवाल न खड़े हो, उसके बारे में निश्चित रूप से पार्टी सोच सकती है। जिन गठबंधनों के खिलाफ हम बोलते रहे हैं, जिन पार्टियों के खिलाफ हम बोलते रहे हैं, उनके साथ जाने का तो कोई मतलब नहीं है।
बहुत लोग ये सोच रहे हैं कि 2019 में बीजेपी फिर से वापस आएगी।
बातें बहुत बड़ी की गई इस सरकार के द्वारा, जमीन पे किसी वर्ग के लिए कुछ भी नहीं किया गया।
मिडिल क्लास को पार्टी के लिए भी ये बोला जाता है कि वो तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट गवर्नमेंट है।
आप बोलने को कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, कामों का तो मूल्यांकन करेंगे ना।
Watch to the point with the newly inducted Aam Aadmi Party leader in the upper house, Sanjay Singh, on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. News from Mumbai, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday expressed confidence that the country's economy is fast moving towards becoming a $5 trillion economy over the next few years. Prime Minister Modi made these remarks after inaugurating the first mega global investor summit, Magnetic Maharashtra Convergence 2018 in Mumbai. The Prime Minister said that a sustained, comprehensive and holistic development were the drivers of the economy growth. He added that the country is on the firm path of development simultaneously with the development of the states. Prime Minister Modi said that his government believes in holistic, inclusive and comprehensive development, adding that potential policy, planning and performance leads to progress. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday also laid the foundation stone for the 16,700 crore rupees Navi Mumbai International Airport, which is expected to ease flight operations at Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport. He said that the government is focusing on the aviation sector with the aim to make air travel affordable for the common man. He said the Udan project will be working on developing about 100 small airports operational across towns and cities of India. Prime Minister Modi informed that the government has now ordered about 900 new airplanes in the past year as compared to the 450 airplanes currently operational.
भारत के टूरिज्म को भी बढ़ाना है। भारत इतना विविधताओं से भरा देश है, अगर प्रॉपर कनेक्टिविटी मिल जाए तो दुनिया के लोग एक जिले में अगर महीना भी निकाल दें तो भी शायद पूरा देख करके नहीं जा सकते। इतनी विविधताओं से भरा हुआ हमारा देश है। ये एविएशन सेक्टर, इसकी ताकत देश के टूरिज्म को भी बहुत बड़ा बल देंगे। और टूरिज्म एक ऐसा सेक्टर है कि जहां कम से कम पूंजी निवेश से अधिकतम रोजी रोटी कमाई जा सकती है।
The Prime Minister also dedicated the 4th terminal of Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust to the nation, which will raise the cargo handling capacity of the nation's largest container port by 50%. This container terminal has been built in record time of 28 months with an estimated cost of 4,719 crore rupees. The 4th terminal project seeks to double JNPT's capacity to nearly 10 million standard container units and will make it the 33rd biggest port globally. Modi said that the government has started the Sagarmala project to initiate port-led development. The Prime Minister said that a trade through sea routes will lead to true globalization.
हम सिर्फ पोर्ट का ही डेवलपमेंट करना चाहते ऐसा नहीं है, हम पोर्ट लेड डेवलपमेंट पर बल दे रहे हैं ताकि हमारे समुद्री तट के 7,500 किलोमीटर का विशाल समुद्र हमारे पास है। हम समुद्री क्षेत्र में एक महाशक्ति बनने की संभावना वाली हमें भौगोलिक रूप से व्यवस्था मिली हुई है। ये हमारे लिए चुनौती है कि हम इसका अवसर कैसे फायदा उठाएं इस अवसर का, और हम अपनी व्यवस्थाओं को उस विकास की नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाएं।
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend various events to be held in Hyderabad and Karnataka today. Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate the 22nd edition of the World Congress on Information Technology in Hyderabad through video conference. Top executives and delegates are expected to attend the conference. The summit is being organized by the state government along with software industry lobby NASSCOM. In Karnataka, Prime Minister Modi will attend the 88th Mahamastak Abhishek Mahotsav. In Karnataka, he will also inaugurate a newly carved 630 steps on Vindhyagiri Hill. Late in Mysuru, Prime Minister Modi will flag off Palace Queen Humsafar Express between Mysuru and Udaipur. He will address a public rally in Mysuru in the evening today. And lakhs of devotees are flocking to Gomateshwara Bahubali temple in Karnataka for the once in 12 years Jain ritual of the Mahamastak Abhishek ceremony of Lord Bahubali. The ceremony was inaugurated by President Ramnath Kovind on 7th of February, while Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu visited the temple last week, and Prime Minister Modi is slated to attend the ceremony today.
Nestling in the lap of nature in the Vindhyagiri and Chandragiri hills of Karnataka Shravanabelogala lies the majestic temple of Lord Gomateshwara Bahubali. Lakhs of devotees from all over the country and abroad come here to witness the once in 12 years ritual of Lord Bahubali's Mahamastakabhisheka. This Jain Mahakumbh is an integral part of the tradition that marks the day when Lord Bahubali attained enlightenment and was anointed a Digambar. The 2018 ceremony is the 88th in the series that started in 981 AD during the Ganga dynasty. According to Jain texts, when Ikshvaku dynasty king Rishabhanatha decided to become a monk, he distributed his kingdom among his 100 sons. One of his sons, Bharat, defeated the 98 brothers to take over their kingdoms, but he couldn't defeat Bahubali. A contest was held between them in which Bahubali emerged victorious. But despite his victory, Bahubali, who was overcome with a profound sense of renunciation, gave up his kingdom in search of enlightenment. After meditating in a standing posture, he attained liberation on the last day of a year-long penance. The 57 feet high statue of Lord Bahubali is carved from a single rock and is said to be the world's tallest monolith granite statue. During the Mahamastaka Abhishekam, the statue is bathed with milk, sugarcane juice and saffron paste and sprinkled with sandalwood, turmeric and vermilion. Offerings are made of petals, gold and silver coins and precious stones. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid a visit to the Jain temple last week on the 4th day of the Mahamastaka Abhisheka. Speaking on the occasion, he said the message of 24 Tirthankaras was the theoretical foundations of the freedom struggle. The ceremony was inaugurated by President Ramnath Kovind on the 7th of February. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
On to some other news now. The 6th India Region Commonwealth Parliamentary Association meeting concluded in Patna on Sunday. The all-important meeting of the presiding officers of different states' assemblies reaffirmed their commitment of the independence of the legislature. Here is a report. For the past 3 days, speakers and chairmen of state assemblies across the country had gathered at Patna, Bihar, under the aegis of Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, headquartered in London. They deliberated on various issues, including Parliament's role in the development agenda and the relationship between the legislature and the judiciary.
यह सम्मेलन कई मायने में महत्वपूर्ण रहा है। इंडिया रीजन के बारे में भी मैडम के प्रस्ताव पर हम लोगों ने कार्यकारिणी समिति में भी, फिर जनरल बॉडी मीटिंग में भी और प्लेनरी सेशन में भी उसके संबंध में विस्तार से विमर्श किया है और हम समझते हैं कि अभी जो हम लोगों के बीच इंटरएक्शन का जो फॉर्मेटिंग है, इससे भी ज्यादा कारगर इंटरएक्शन के लिए हम लोगों ने एक एक्शन प्लान बनाया है।
Governor Bihar Satyapal Malik emphasized on need to proactively follow rules of procedure of state assemblies and use the platform of parliament as an effective tool for development of society at large.
संसदीय प्रणाली और पद्धतियों में कुछ अलग अलग विशेषताएं होती हैं। राष्ट्रमंडल संसदीय संघ इन्हीं विशिष्टताओं को साझा कर सर्वानुमति बनाने हेतु एक महत्वपूर्ण फोरम है, जिसके माध्यम से हम सभी अपनी संसदीय प्रणाली को विकसित कर लोकतंत्र को और मजबूत कर सकते हैं।
The Secretary General of the CPA, Akbar Khan, stated that in today's world, it is only democratically elected bodies, such as the Indian Parliament and its many state legislative assemblies, that are role models for aspiring democracies.
In India, the roles of Parliament, the state legislatures and the judiciary are clearly defined by your written constitution. Thus, as per the constitutional scheme, both Parliament and judiciary are supreme within their respective areas.
As the chairperson of the India region of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Speaker Lok Sabha Sumitra Mahajan reiterated the need for greater participation of legislative bodies for sustainable development.
ये बैठ करके विश्व के सभी देशों ने तय किया कि पीछे नहीं जाना है, तो अगर विकास को पाना तो और आगे जाना है, मगर उस विकास को टिकाए भी रखना है। And that's why these sustainable development goals. मैंने मुख्यमंत्रियों को भी कहा है कि जब भी कभी हमारा सेशन हो, तो उस सेशन में एक बार कम से कम इस विकास पर चर्चा हो कि हम कहाँ तक आ गए।
This was the 6th edition of the CPA, held exclusively for the separately created India region within the Committee of Nations in Commonwealth countries. There are in all 9 regions inside CPA organization. And for Patna, Bihar, it was by all means a golden opportunity to grab international spotlight for hosting this conference. With cameraman MS Suresh, this is Vineet Dikshit for Rajya Sabha TV from Patna, Bihar.
And on to some sports news now. India beat South Africa by 28 runs in the opening T20 International to take a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series at the new Wanderers Stadium at Johannesburg. The hosts scored 175 runs for 9 wickets in reply to India's 203, with opener Prasid Hendricks top scoring with 70 runs. Bhuvneshwar Kumar was the pick of the bowlers as he took 5 wickets for 24 runs, while Shikhar Dhawan scored 72 runs off only 39 balls, hitting 10 fours and 2 sixes. Skipper Virat Kohli scored 26 runs off 20 balls, while Manish Pandey scored 29 off 27 balls. India will next face the South African team on 21st of February at Supercell Sport Park in Centurion. Meanwhile, in the women's cricket, South Africa beat India by 5 wickets in the 3rd T20 Cricket International match in Johannesburg. The hosts first restricted the visitors to 133 in 17.5 overs. The hosts then overhauled the target in exactly 19 overs. Seun Lewis made 41 of 34 deliveries, while skipper Dane van Niekerk contributed 26 runs. India now lead the 5-match series 2-1. The 4th and penultimate women's T20 match between the two teams will be played at the Super Sport Park in Centurion on Wednesday.
Yeah, good double strike.
And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.